Hey, we're back with this week's edition of the Extra Point. We're here with Callie and Zach.
It's like the gift that keeps on giving.
Yes,
every week.
You people probably wish we
Depends
were
on
just
your perspective.
Yeah.
Well, they go away.
What kind of gift is really not for us to
So-
say?
It's so addicted to watch.
Oh yeah.
All right, let's talk some basketball action. Zach, tell us a little bit about Tullahoma.
Well, the Wildcats right now sit 6-2 on the season, 1-0 in District 8 AAA play, so they've been off to a great start so far this season. The girls are 4-4, 0-1 in District 1 play. They kind of hit a little bit of a skid right now, so trying to get back on track tonight. Both teams will host Warren County tonight, and then they'll actually step back into district play on Friday whenever they welcome Lincoln County to Tullahoma. So if you're looking for some good basketball to come check out, go check out the
They play
Tullahoma teams
tonight
tonight.
and tomorrow night.
Yeah, they play tonight and tomorrow night. So
Back to back. Home tonight.
home tonight and home on Friday.
Oh, okay, so 2 home games. So that's something good that people could go watch locally.
Yep.
Motlow got anything going on?
I didn't write anything down about Montlow. I'll put that in Zach's sport here in a minute.
Okay.
Tell us about Franklin County basketball.
Yeah, Franklin County girls continue. The girls continue to win. They beat Grundy County on Tuesday night, 52-15. They're 5-4 on the season. The boys struggling this season, just really struggling. Lose to Grundy County. They are 1-8 on the season. Both Huntland boys and girls both lost to Richland on Tuesday night. Boys are 1-9 on the season, and the girls are now 5-5 on the season. So,
All right, and I think they play Columbia Friday night for
I think
district
so,
game.
yeah.
So, and both those are 0-2 in district play right now. As we know from football season, district play is really big. I was going to talk briefly. I've got some information here. Coffee County boys are actually 7-2 on the season. They lost last night to Fayetteville, and the last game they beat Columbia. Before that, they next up have Huntland. So that's going to be a tough match for Huntland.
Yeah.
Even though it's at Huntland. In district play, Coffee County is 2-0 the boys. The girls are 9-1 on the season. They're 2-0 in the district. They beat Fayetteville last night and beat Columbia a few days before, and of course they'll be also at Huntland as well. The Moore County boys are 1-7 on the season. Haven't played any district games so far. Next up, they have Community, which is actually their only win. Moore County is 6-2 on the season, the girls, and they won against Warren County and beat Tullahoma with their last win. And of course, they play Community as well tomorrow night. So that's just going over, and they're starting to get to the like end of year tournaments, and Christmas tournaments and stuff. I noticed Coffee County's hosting something right before Christmas.
Yeah, both the Tullahoma boys and girls basketball teams are headed to White County next week for a couple pre-Christmas tournaments, and then after that they'll be in a couple more tournaments as well.
Well, I noticed I don't think they go back into district play until the first of the year.
Yeah, then just a step back until once school resumes.
Well, to talk basketball before we move on to talking some football news, UT's basketball program. I made some addendums here you didn't get.
Oh, well. I had that one week. Nobody wants to talk about
UT's
it.
basketball men 7-1.
Yes.
Ranked number 20.
Yes.
And so far, their only loss is to number 1 Villanova. They have North Carolina tonight, isn't it?
Yeah, that'll be a tough game for those guys to win. But they have been. I've actually had the opportunity to watch a couple of games, and they've really impressed me. I like Rick Barnes, and I like what he's doing. And that team is still really young, mostly freshmen and sophomores. So that's something exciting.
That was one of the best hires that Tennessee.
Yeah, right.
They got Rick
Right.
Barnes.
Yeah.
They could go to a bowl game already. The women.
Don't quit your day job, Joe.
Yeah, I know.
Don't quit it.
The women are 10-0 on the season, and they're ranked number 7.
Awesome.
They just beat then ranked number 2 Texas.
Yeah, I haven't got to see the girls play this year, but I'm looking forward to
They have a
watching the
really
game.
good freshman from some of the information I've read. It's kind of hard to get into basketball until
Football fills it out.
and really it's when the whole NCAA tournament starts.
Yeah.
I just love to veg out and watch basketball games for the NCAA tournament. But anyway, good luck to the UT men's and women's basketball teams.
Absolutely.
It's good to see them back up on top. I agree with you. Rick Barnes was a good hire. Let's talk college football real quick.
Well, you want to do any local?
Oh
shout-outs
yeah, let's
first
do some
before we
local
talk-
shout outs. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and you talked about ranked college teams. Motlow was actually ranked at number 7 in the country right now.
Awesome.
The men's basketball team, they're 10-1 on the season, 5-0 in conference play. Go check out basketball out there. It's free. Free for you guys.
Free.
Go out there and go check them out. As I said, they're ranked number 7 in the country. And of course, we got 2 pretty good middle school basketball teams out here. Both the West girls and boys teams sit at 9-2 on the season right now.
Nice.
So there's some good basketball around.
Yeah.
Oklahoma.
And considering actually basketball's been a little bit of Achilles in
Mhm.
this area. Motlow's been pretty good for the last few years, but Tullahoma's really struggled in basketball.
Yeah, it's good to see them on the
and-
up.
Yeah, it is. All right, well, let's move on to some college football. One of the things I was going to discuss was the UT's coach, Jeremy Pruitt. I think we started talking, or we got talking last week, and I kind of had to head out real quick, and we had to shut it down. So once again, tell us what you think about the hire.
Oh, I think it's a terrific hire. I think, he's a North Alabama boy, so he has that connection to the state. He played some of his ball at MTSU. He's played for elite programs.
Yeah.
I think he's also done another step up, hiring Tennessee guys, former Tennessee players. One of those being Terry Fair. Most of us will know Terry as being a quarterback from the years of Peyton Manning and around the 95-96 year. So, it's great to see how Philip Fulmer came in and within about a less than 7 days' time took care of business, and I think took care of business in a way that it's going to be okay for the long haul. I'm thrilled with the hire.
We noticed they were over in Manchester the other day, weren't they?
Yeah, Alontae Taylor will formally sign next Friday.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
So
speaking of that, and we'll let you talk about the next thing, but they lost 2 quarterback commitments as of yesterday.
Yeah.
Well, they pulled one from the Florida guy. I can't remember what his name is, and then the other fella basically, I guess, decided to go with Scott Frost in Nebraska.
Well, I think you're going to see that. Obviously we lose and gain. Any program loses and gains recruits all the time, and he has just started. But getting back Alontae is a big one because he was recruited by some very some of the top programs. With Alabama, was it Notre Dame? One of those names.
Ohio State. So.
Yeah. So to get that Tennessee name back, I think that says a lot for in-state recruiting, which is where you want to be at anyways. So I think in the next couple of months, when is that early signing? It's
next week.
Next week, yeah.
Official signing.
But
I still think kids have the ability to change their mind.
and will change their mind.
Of course they will.
Yeah.
And speaking of people that changed their mind, Jumbo Fisher was a big hire, 4 or 5 years ago for Florida State.
Yeah.
To take over
he
the
stepped in
reins.
for Bobby Bowden at that time.
Yeah.
But so it's not a lot of commitment there. He shot off over to Texas A&M pretty quick. I guess the numbers were there.
Well, the numbers were there for him, but I think it was a changing the guard thing going down there at Florida State. Fans were kind of getting agitated by him along there, but Florida State was stuck in a position where they can't fire him because of
Yeah.
this large buyout that he had. He had a $40 million buyout. So it's, okay, do you stick with him or not? And I think Jimbo just realized that his time was up there in Tallahassee and decided to jump ship for A&M. And, of course, they got him from outrageous price there.
Yeah.
At A&M, locked him into about, what was it, a 7-year contract?
Well, will he be a good fit at Texas A&M?
It's going to be interesting to see how that unfolds. So
The ACC is a little different than the SEC.
it is.
Yes.
It is. So, which is one thing that I think he also welcomed to is getting to face the SEC every year. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how he fits down there, especially since you had a Kevin Sumlin style offense that you're just coming off of. So it's going to be a different program the next couple of years for A&M.
Oh yeah.
We talked last week. We think the 4 teams that got into the playoff deserve to get into the playoffs. Should they expand to 8 teams? What do you think?
Absolutely. Well,
More money.
Or more money. My thing is I don't know if anybody watches the FCS division, which is 1AA essentially. They have a 32-team playoff bracket, which I think is the best football playoff in.
Well,
the
you'd have
country
to
right
shorten your season a little bit.
Obviously. So you can't maybe not do 8 teams, but at least maybe 16 teams or something along
No,
those
yeah, I would
lines.
probably agree with that. Play down.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I think the FBS has to expand on 4 teams.
Yeah, and I agree with that. And I think they eventually will. This was basically an experiment at best, and they'll eventually. But you're always going to have those snubs. You know, you're never going to get away from that.
Well, I mean, but you could take those 4, because it's the whole thing about the bowl games. You could take those 4 big bowls, which are the Rose Bowl, the Orange Bowl, the Sugar Bowl, and the Fiesta Bowl.
Yeah.
Right? And those could be your playoff, your first 4 initial playoff games. That's your top 8 teams that you feel like, and then no one really feels. Someone's going to always feel like they got snubbed.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think this kind of lowers your.
And if you're sitting at 9 and you feel like you got snubbed, you don't really have as much to gripe about if you're sitting at 5.
Exactly. Yeah.
Speaking of playoffs, I just want to give a quick shout out to my Bearcats as well. They're playing tomorrow night. The FCS is in its semifinals right now, so they play North Dakota State tomorrow night. So go Bearcats!
Still football.
I didn't know.
Still stuff going on.
I didn't know he went to Cincinnati.
So Sin Houston State.
All right. Baker Mayfield wins the Heisman. He's the first walk-on to do so. You should be proud of that.
I am. Congrats, Baker. I think it was well-deserved.
I think it was well-deserved. I think he earned the Heisman. I mean, he had a great year. And speaking of people I thought had a great year, got snubbed, UT punter Trevor Daniel. I thought he got a huge snub, in my opinion. He wasn't considered on the first team or second team All-American.
And neither was Trey Smith. Trey Smith was another volunteer.
But he's
I know he's a freshman, but still had a heck of a year. Really was kind of the backbone at times for their offense.
I mean, UT's punter over the last 4 years has been, someone that, gets them out of the hole, 70-yard punts when they need them. Trevor, we're here for you, man. I feel you. I feel your pain.
We love you anyway.
So, but he kind of got left off, and I just thought he got snubbed. He wasn't even considered for the Ray Guy Award, so that to me was just kind of a smack in the face.
Well, yeah, but I think sometimes those awards are almost a bad omen going into.
Well, considering ESPN has him listed as the second highest punter in their draft, so and sometimes it depends on where you're kicking from.
That's true.
I mean, I'd say he was kicking from his goal line quite a bit this past year. So, anyway, we're going to make our college predictions next week for bowls. So you guys start doing your research and probably looking at, maybe the top 10 bowls, give or take. So if you want to start looking at that, their bowls start next, right, Anthony? Or no, they start.
May start sooner than that.
Yeah, they start
16, right? Is it something like next week?
MTSU's playing the first day's bowl game, so it's coming up real quick.
Can I look while y'all?
Yeah, it may start this weekend.
Yeah, I feel like it is.
All right, well, let's talk about something just cruddy. And speaking of cruddy, the Titans lost 12-7 versus Arizona.
They have one job.
Win.
Not screw up against.
It was the same old Titans.
Arizona team.
And I wrote this down here. Marcus Mariota is not the golden boy. He's got 14 interceptions this year to 10 passing touchdowns. However, he has ran for 5 TDs on the ground. His quarterback rating is a paltry 52.7, and he's at 16th in the league. Blake Bortles is ranked number 13. So, me and you talked briefly about it, Zach.
We did. He is struggling mightily at this point, and his 2 interceptions against Arizona. I don't know if you got a chance to see those, you two, but those were inexcusable interceptions on his part. I don't know what he was looking at. He was both times his receivers were covered. One time he threw it. I don't know if that was a mix-up between the receiver going the wrong way, because it looked like from Mariota's perspective that the receiver was supposed to cut inside, but instead he went to the outside. So I don't know if Mariota ran that wrong or if the receiver ran the wrong route on that one. But just 2 really bad interceptions on Mariota's part.
And a horrible game to watch.
It was. I know. I walked away from it at halftime. It was 7-0 Titans. I thought, okay, they might struggle a little bit, but I figured they'd eke it out. But no, of course they didn't.
Well,
they found a way to shoot themselves in the foot.
Defense has done their job. They've had 14 sacks.
If you allow 12 points in an NFL game, you're expected to win that game. You're not.
And they've had 14 sacks in the last 2 games.
Yeah.
The defense is doing its part. The offense has got to help it out.
Yeah, and for an offense, I wouldn't say they were high-powered offense, but Mariota's
They
been
should be
known for
out
not
fire.
throwing interceptions.
Yeah.
And right now, and I think some of it may have to do with his injuries. He's been a little injured. I know his knee right now, but some are saying his hamstrings are bothering him again.
Yeah, I heard that he's going to have off-season surgery
Yeah.
regardless.
So, but he came out last night. He apologized to the media. He was kind of a butt, I think, after the game to the media.
Yeah.
And I'll give him credit for that since we do work in the media. Sometimes we get a bad rap.
Yeah, sometimes though I like to see some of the players actually let loose on some of their emotions. So I didn't have a problem with him on Sunday. Obviously, he's coming off of a loss they shouldn't have had, so he had to be right to be ticked off. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, and it shows that he's got fire. He's a competitor. And, nobody likes to lose. I mean,
Exactly. That's kind of what I want to see from a quarterback. I don't want to see, we lost, just going through the motions like that. I want to see.
Remind me of one of that commercial. Everybody likes to lose.
Yeah, right.
All right. Tough question. Callie, will the Titans make the playoffs?
I think they will. I think with the division being what it is, I think they have a shot. Y'all are hearing me now that I'm giving them the upswing. I'm giving them the go ahead.
And I'm going to tell everybody right now, we have tickets. You can go online at www.telemonnews.com and register for Titans tickets because we have tickets for the last game of the season versus
Jacksonville. You're at home.
Yeah. So that may be the game that determines if they go to the playoffs or not. So, Zach, what do you think? Is Jacksonville going to knock them out of the playoffs?
I don't even think it's going to come down to that. Right now, I say the Titans do not make the playoffs, or unless they get in with that 5th seed.
I can't believe that I'm the one that's over here.
Because they'll win against the 49ers, but you got to think these last 2 games that Titans have are really crucial to them.
Yeah,
they got to play LA and they got to play Jacksonville to end the season. Those are.
Well,
I said before.
LA and Jacksonville, but they also have to play.
Well, they got the 49ers this week, and then LA.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it. There's only 3 more games left this season.
Crazy.
Yeah, you might be right.
Yeah.
San Fran, Rams, and Jaguars. Yeah, you're right.
So, and I said before, last week, I said the Titans needed to go 3-1 during that stretch. The one loss I thought that they might have is against LA. I still think they're going to lose to LA and if
they don't play better, they're going to lose to Jacksonville.
Exactly. That's my point.
I mean, Jacksonville does enough to win. They've got an excellent defense. They don't need an awesome. I think we mentioned the other day the Trent Dilfer of the Ravens several years back, just doing enough to get it done and having a great defense. I think if they get into the playoffs, it'll be lucky at best. I don't think it's going to be.
I don't think they're going to win the division. I think it's going to have to be a 5th or 6th seed somehow.
Yeah. And that's going to depend on the other teams, and the other teams are playing well right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going with a no.
Oh gosh, I can't believe I'm a positive one.
Oh, I cannot believe they lost to Arizona.
Oh, that's true.
Like I said, I think they go 1-2 the rest of the way. LA and Jacksonville, I just don't think they can get wins at this point.
They've looked so bad in the last 2 games. I mean, it is really hard to get.
Yeah, it is.
I want to see them get in.
No, me too. Absolutely.
So, speaking of teams that are actually winning and doing quite well, and Zach, you mentioned this. The Predators are 19 wins, 7 losses, and 4 losses in overtime.
Mm-hmm.
They've got 42 points, sitting in 2nd place in the Central Division, basically 3rd in points overall in that division. However, they've played 2 less games than the teams in 1st place.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's a big difference. They crushed Vancouver last night.
I was going to say 7-1 last night. That was not much of a contest.
And it was a matter of the last 10 minutes of the game getting out of it without getting any injuries because it was getting ugly. And I'm not talking about in the hockey. It was getting – Vancouver was not happy that that Nashville scored that 7th goal, I'm sure. They're on a West Coast swing right now, and tonight they play Edmonton at 8 o'clock, I think it was. And then on Saturday, they play Calgary. So if you got a chance when the Predators come back home, you should go see one of those games. With that being said, I guess that's about our time. We'll make our picks next week.
Mm-hmm.
You can always get into, and I'm going to take the lead in picks next week. And bring this thing home. We'll also start discussing our preseason predictions about the Titans. I still have all that.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll talk some more high school basketball next week. You can always get in touch with Zach at.
Reach me on Twitter at Zach Birdsong. No spaces in between.
You can always get in touch with
Callie.
Sally.
That's what happens. Y'all two get together.
Yeah.
Callie
I think
at.
I'm okay.
Yeah.
I think I'm okay.
You're doing pretty good on that.
It's on Twitter at NewsGal27.
All right, you can always give us a call or shout out on Facebook. We appreciate you guys joining us every week.
It'll be the Christmas edition next week.
Yes,
so,
Okay, we'll have to wear our little Christmas hats and dress up.
maybe not. We'll say
We'll
we did.
We can dress you up.
No, that's okay. I may not be here next week.
Yeah.
I'll have to send my stuff from the hospital.
All right.
Hopefully.
See you guys. Have a good week and have a good Christmas.